What if I could live stream without coughing my ass up and sneezing every 5 minutes? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Let's see if we can do that today. What's going on, legends? It's a rhetorical question. There is no answer. What's going on? Got some Kurt Vile in the background. Good old Kurt Vile. Nowhere near as disgusting as he sounds. Jason, I saw your email come through and I could not be fucked responding, so I'll respond now. I don't make those boards I've never made a Delta Blues board before for a PV. The reason I didn't pursue the Classic 30 board that I did make, they are different. The Delta Blues has tremolo, whereas the Classic 30 does not. Neither does the Classic 50. Classic 50, you're not getting 50 watts out of 4 EL84s. I don't care what anyone says. I never made them because they're not financially viable. Neither is the amplifier. It would cost more to restore one of those amps than the amp's worth. So it's a cost benefit analysis thing. It wasn't worth making them because you can buy a second-hand Classic 30 for about $300. So they're not really worth putting the work into. If you wanted to, as a purely, what's the word I'm thinking of? Brain no worky. A purely scholar? No. Educational? No. God, my brain's not working. Where's Lyle when you need him? Walking thesaurus. God, my brain's just not working. If you're doing it purely to see if you can, fair enough, but I haven't made them available. Yes, but as Parsant, like me from MS, it holds... What are you talking about, Jason? Sentimental? If you're sentimentally attached to a Classic 30, I think you need to reassess your life choices. No, not sentimental. Scholastic, educational. What's a synonym for educational? Ah, God, I don't know. I need an English major. Educational. I can't move past this. Academic. My God. If you're doing it, if you're doing it as purely an academic exercise, then fair enough. But problem is, I designed the board and you'll want me to guide you through it, and I don't want to because that's a whole lot of time that I will not be able to get money for. So, I gave a few to my mates. One of which actually had a Classic 30 and he just wanted to do it up. And I said, yeah, you'll figure it out. And they did. But if I'm giving it to someone who will say that they'll figure it out, and then as soon as something goes wrong, they'll go, oh, hell, not happening. Plus, I don't think I've got any left anyway. I've installed 2, given 2 away. I think I might have 1 left. And I was going to save that in case I get a bag of bones that I can restore. And I think there is one in there, actually. Someone gave to me. Oh, yeah. Yeah, got 1 left. There we go. Not fully populated yet. There's a few things on it which this was pretty early on in my PCB layout career. It was sort of an exercise. and some of the wiring holes are too small, and the pads could have been elongated, margins should have been a bit wider, blah blah blah. No need for a ground plane on the majority of it. But yeah, things like the brackets were a bit hard to find. I just riveted him in from that side, and they had screw thread on that side. There's the new screen grid resistors. I thought I took that video down of me putting that board in. Is it still up? Is it still up? I thought I took it down for that reason, because everyone would want a board. Yeah, well, whatever. Long enough ago now that the video only gets a trickle of views anyway. I'll buy Fender Blues just to support your onery ass. What's onery mean again? I've forgotten. I'm an idiot. It is part 1 and 2. Okay, I must have just left it up then. You don't have to support me, it's alright, but if you do want to, you just, I don't know, buy a stubby cooler or something. But yeah, if it was a classic 30, I might consider sending you one, but yeah, the Delta Blues, I haven't laid one out, so I don't think you can just drop it in and sacrifice the trem. Sorry, I'm still really blocked up here. Been sick for like a solid week. I'm starting to get pretty annoyed with it. Clearing up now, but now it's just residual stuff. Right, moving on. Yeah. So I'm a bit concerned. I've got a RCD on all the electronics on this wall, just so if an amp does come in that's got a ground fault, it won't trip the circuit breaker in the fuse box over there, this breaker box. Because if that one doesn't hit it, then the breaker box, the main one's in the workshop out the back, which I don't have access to. If the builder that owns the property isn't here, which he often isn't because he's a builder, he's on site, I'll have no one to go in there and reset the circuit breaker. So I've just got a lower or more sensitive one here that will trip before anything else does. And I've come in the last 2 weekends and it's been tripped. I've gone to turn everything on and nothing's no es bueno. And I've leaned down and it's been tripped. But I believe it trips if you turn off the supply too. So we might have had some mains issues. Alrighty, this is a bit of a mess. So the story with this one is it's got a head first drop-in board in a JCM 900 chassis. And the customer wanted it in a like a plexi style cabinet front panel. So instead of the rocker switches, which are way over here, he's put 2 toggles and moved them in, so then the front panel can cover either end like it does on a plexi style amp. Purely cosmetic, but the customer's wired it himself and the soldering needs redoing. I think he's a Sparky too. So generally, most other techs will be aware of this, but when you've got Sparkies that aren't using screw terminals, you can have issues. Let's just leave it at that. The pilot light. Mount the pilot light a bit better because we can do better than that. Hot glue on the back. I think I've got some of the actual brackets for these, but we'll put that aside for now. I'm taking the output valves out because there's evidence of overheating on 2 of the 4. And there's pretty imbalanced idle current. See this discoloration on the glass there. See that? Yeah, you can make that out. Color's looking a bit bluish, making my hands look. It's got a automatic color balance, but it only goes so far. Ah, got healthy hands again. Don't look like I'm dead. Frankie, here you go, legend. What's happening? G'day everyone, by the way. Colby Jack, Mark Spurgeon, Pete Ross, BC Electronics, Jason, Jason the Violator, Andy, Joe, Seth. Oh god, that's way yellow now. I feel like the guy out of Sin City. What are we working on, Frankie? What are you working on? This solder, I don't know what the go is with it. It's just turned into like powder. That's weird. It's like it hasn't got flux. What can happen is if your iron's too hot, the flux evaporates in like 2 seconds, and now you're trying to solder without flux. So I'm just disconnecting everything I want to redo, re-terminate, clean up the area, clean up the solder joints, re-terminate everything, use heat shrink on all the main stuff. Yeah, it just turns to dust, this solder. Weird. Wonder if it's like plumbing solder or something. You never know. Got an early 60s Tremolux next. Nice. I've got to get back to that other Tremolux. I've been out of action, more or less. I've been sort of on life support for the last week with the man flu. Where's that wire fuck off to? Oh, that's the bias feed. What it said, I deleted a message. You accidentally deleting messages there, Frankie. Oh, I think I know what you've done. You accidentally hid Joe. You just clicked the wrong button. That's cool. I just reversed it. Bloody hell, Frankie. You're going to revoke your bloody moderatorship there. Alright, bias feed for the AC. Where are you? Where art thou? Turn the meter on, that might help. Bingo. So it's still got a capacitively coupled bias supply, and that cap looks suspiciously like the original one from the JCM900. But I'm not really interested in lifting that board to replace it if I can avoid it. Bridge rack over here. All the soldering's got to be redone. I don't know what the go is with this solder, man. This is weird. It's just like powder. Solder splashes everywhere. Alex, how you going, legend? What's happening? Working harder, hardly working. Trying to fix a goofy Vox NT. Is that one of the night trains? Thought you just threw them in the bin. Man, I'll give you an idea of this solder. Look at it. Like, as soon as it melts, it just turns to like mud. It's almost like it doesn't melt. It doesn't. I don't know, that's really weird. I've never seen that before. This forms flakes, like it doesn't flow. But then if we add new stuff, I don't think it's going to help. Because it looks like there is still some sort of flux on it. Just like real low rent. Yeah, see, it's not that there's no flux. The solder's just fucking weird. Anyway, let's move it back to a more ergonomic position. I think I'm just going to redo all of this because none of it's redeemable. Really high melting point too, so I guess it's lead free, but just really gross lead free. Melts sometime soon would be nice. It's like the very surface of it's melting, but nothing underneath. And then it gets to a certain temperature and then turns to just like clay. Anyway, we'll do what we can, champions. I'll just take a couple of photos of what's connected to where on this transformer, because off the top of my head I can't remember if the schematic goes into detail over what terminal's what. No tubes, no dead shorts, but first preamp tubes only getting 34 volts DC. Trying to find the culprit. So first preamp plates. Oh, no tubes, no tubes. Okay. 34 volts DC. That's the night train. Yeah, it could be a high resistance dropper or an almost open circuit dropper from an overcurrent situation, or just an underrated resistor, as they want to do in the low end amps. They often use like quarter watt dropper resistors with predictable results. Vox are generally pretty good, but those are sort of the bottom of the barrel kind of deal. So we've got an HT fuse, but almost everything's before the HT fuse. So what is after the HT fuse? So that's the choke. So that's, oh no, sorry, you've got a cap there. So the first cap is before the fuse. That's no good. Oh man, let's just redo everything. I think I'm going to bring in a new policy that I don't work on anything that customers have touched. But they get upset and take personal offense to that. And it's like, well, yeah, but you're not going to you're going to take personal offense to the bill too when I make it up to my standards, so better that they get offended before you've taken in the amp than after. Where the fuck's my big tip? Oh, there it is. I have a collection of old antique electricians' soldering equipment. So the irons were actually... Oh, okay, how do I get rid of that? Escape? Yeah. Seth's message has disappeared. Oh, here we go. Actually hunks of copper on a stick of twisted wire with a wooden handle. That sounds safe. Heat sources were mostly all alcohol-fueled soldering iron, really. Just like the electrician, yeah. Yeah, it does look like, it looks like silver solder, doesn't it? But it wouldn't melt with a soldering iron if that was the case. Most lead-free solder is garbage. If I have to use it, I get the 2 to 3% silver bearing stuff to bring the melt temp down a little bit more. Yeah, that's what I use. Yeah, the resistors are underrated. I even tried lifting a couple of caps. It's definitely around V1. Just haven't found the hungry pixie. This is the stuff I use. I can't remember what percentage silver it is, but that stuff's good. Pause the screen there. That's the good stuff. 97SC. I don't know what that means. But it's about 120, what was it, 100 bucks a roll? 120 bucks a roll? Not cheap. Alright, that can go away. Actually, all those connections are shit too. It's an onion. Don't like that wiring. That one's jammed on the screw. Don't like those terminals. That's the heater. Got solder splashes. Screen resistors are massive. I'm gonna resolder all of that. Put some lightweight resistors and bring them up to 1K. Generally, I'd advise against doing this with the JCM 900, just because they don't lend themselves to rebuilding by virtue of their construction method. The fact that the valves are sort of smack bang in the middle of the chassis too, which makes it impossible to easily wire up stuff unless you have two separate boards, and most of the off-the-shelf project boards are sort of designed for more of a JCM 800 style chassis. There's nothing really after the, except for the reissues, there's nothing really after the JCM 800 that is easily hot roddable without using the original boards anyway. All the fun stuff causes cancer. The old special Tektronix repair solder was 60-37-3 Tactic. Even a lower melt temp than the 60-38-2, so you don't lift the metal pads off the Tektronix porcelain terminal blocks. I thought they used okay, yeah, no, I thought they used a more like a silver solder, like a yeah, I don't know, but actually what you said there makes more sense. Lower temp. Saw my JCM 900 this weekend. I mean, they do what they do. For a while there, like every friggin' band on planet Earth had one. On every festival stage, all the pop punk bands were playing with them because they were basically like an overdrive pedal in an amp. Solder splashes everywhere, bro. Oh, I remember tweezers I had like 15 minutes ago. There we go. Be careful with these transformer bobbins too. You can melt them. They're only nylon, so they've got to work as quick as you can. I had a nice day yesterday doing some joinery stuff, building a couple of cabinets, and organising the garage a bit to get ready for doing some motorcycle mechanics in there. I need to get my bike running over winter. She's got to be ready by spring, if I can help it. I really wish I had someone to wrangle customers today because I really don't want to stop work. I need to get shit done. I need to get jobs out the door, man. After being sick for 2 weeks. Gotta catch up. I just can't catch up. It's retail's doing fuck all. I wonder if maybe I should just close the store entirely until I catch up on repairs, just so everyone can just wait. I had someone comment on, I think it was Facebook. I don't know if they thought they were joking. They said something to the effect of when I put up a post saying repairs closed until May or whatever. Oh, you must be pretty useless then or something if you need that much time or some shit. I don't know, it could have just been a bot. These days the internet's so fucking useless. It's probably just a bot meant to generally lower people's mental health state, as the internet is wont to do. It's like, motherfucker, you don't know what my job queue is. You don't know anything about me. I've never seen your name again before in my whole fucking life, and you're making judgments about my business and how I choose to live life. How does get fucked sound? So I just blocked them. I don't know why they do that shit though, because you just block them once and you never see them again. It's like, it's a waste of effort on their behalf. Go back to bashing your missus like you probably do every day anyway, you fucking dickhead. Yeah, I want to do some motorcycle. It's not exactly maintenance, it's like full rebuild. It's mechanically okay, like, well, I guess it's so when I went full time with the business, obviously I didn't have a need to commute anymore, really. I occasionally had jobs where I'd have to go and measure up because I was still doing joinery part time, but generally just working from home every day, and didn't really go anywhere. When I did go somewhere, it's usually to pick something up, in which case I'd take the van. So the poor little bike all of a sudden was more or less unused. And Shell's bike as well. She's got a GS500 Suzuki. And with the business took over everything. Like when I had a full-time job, we could actually sort of have the weekends off and we could go and do stuff because you didn't have to worry about work till Monday. But now work's just 24/7 every fucking week. Constant. If you don't answer an email, if you don't do this, if you don't do that, there'll be someone angry with you. If you don't, do your tax return, the tax department and the accountant will be angry at you. If you got to pay bills, if you don't pay them on time, someone will be angry at you. If you don't do quotes on time, if you don't get the jobs finished on time. So it's just every waking minute of every day, you're working pretty much. So we don't really, unless it's a arranged holiday, we don't really have a chance to go and anywhere or do anything. So of course the bikes just sat there and started to rot away, and then we had like COVID lockdowns and that, so we didn't go anywhere for that. And then the registration lapsed on them, and I tried to get it re-registered, and the fuckwit at the local mechanics, even though he's registered it for the previous 5 years, he's like, "No, I wouldn't have registered that. Those exhaust pipes aren't legal." I go, "Dude, I've got the receipts from the last fucking 5 times you registered it." And he's like, "Nah, it couldn't have been me. You must have falsified those records." I go, "I'm gonna like print your letterhead and falsify the last 5 years receipts, which would be on your system too, to start an argument with you over nothing. Just register the fucking bike." And he's like, "Nah, can't do it." I go, "Look, is it because they're more stringent now?" And he's like, "No, I never would have. They were always the same." He's just a fucking lunatic. Couldn't figure out why he changed his mind and then went into denial mode. Maybe because he was liable for all the previous times he registered it without a sound level meter test. So anyway, that became a pain in the ass. I even said, "Can I get it sound level tested and come back?" And he's like, "No, because it doesn't have a compliance plate." I said, "It doesn't fucking matter. The compliance plate is when I get the test done. That is the compliance." He's like, "No, it needs a plate riveted on it." Okay, so so somehow this bike's been registered for the last 15 years, even though that, according to you, wasn't possible. So that left a dirty taste in my mouth. Graham Horner, automotive on the highway at Blackson, is a fucking cockhead. So yeah, after that, it was all too hard, and the cover went on the bike, and she just went, not even in the garage, out the back of the garage, and there it sat ever since. So now the moisture's gotten to it, and it's just sitting there in disrepair. The forks are all pitted and gross. So I've got to read all of that, but I know some mechanics that aren't fuckwits, so I'll just go to them. But yeah, I've got to restore the thing first, and the finish is a bit faded, which it was when I bought it because of the Australian sun. The Italian paint, the metallic paint, doesn't stand up too well against the Australian sun. The tyres would be dried out by now, so they'd need replacing. They were relatively new Michelins. I think I probably put about 3,000 or 4,000 Ks on them. But yeah, the fuel lines, I had a look, and they're braided, and their fuel lines are cracked. They're not leaking, but it's full of old fuel and stuff, and the injectors have been blocked. Michelle didn't really ride anywhere without me riding, so her bike just by association sat there as well. and it's pretty disgraceful, so I want to get them up and running. I've got to assess it and cost-wise, figure out if it's worthwhile, because, you know, fucking wire went through my finger. If it's not economically viable, I'll just literally take the fucking thing to a wreckers, and there you go. Give me $500. See you later. Go get something newer, which probably makes more sense. It's a bit silly having such a massive 1000cc bike for just commuting about 5-6 k's every day too. And this solder really takes some effort to clean off. Might just put a new bridge rack on there, because the terminals, it's like the solder's attacked the fucking metal. It's really taken some working in with the new solder to break through whatever that scum on the face of the plating is. It could just be corrosion. It might be an old bridge. Yeah, it's like terminals are like bubbling. Yeah, whatever that solder they used is, it's not suitable. So this is why I kind of want to decline jobs where other people have worked on them before. I've just had a whole bunch this year where guys have tried to build an amp or whatever, and they bring it in, and like every single solder joint is just shit. This one's not as bad. It's just a power supply section, but yeah, you got to explain to them, man, I really have to rebuild the whole thing, because now it's got my name on it, and if anything goes wrong, you're going to turn up here with your arms up in the air going, what the fuck? So you can't bring an amp in, only let me work on like 1/10 of it, and then if anything goes wrong with the other 90%, then try and blame it on me. Everyone sort of does that, but so it's all or nothing. Champions. That's what I'm saying. Not taking a job on if I can't make it at least in the ballpark of my standards. Oh, I can just go in through there. Yeah, the thing is, Frankie, a lot of the time they'll try to, and you've probably got this as well, they try to manipulate you. So they'll go, oh no, just have a look for us. Just have a look. Oh, see what you can do. See what you can do. You know, if it's not perfect, you know, oh whatever. Like it's, oh, you know, just see how good you can get it. See how good you can get it. And then, you know, if it's not fucking perfect, like you turn it up and there's a little bit of hiss, they're like, oh, why is that hiss? It wasn't hiss before. It's like, dude, before it was fucking on fire, and now you're complaining about a little bit of hiss. Oh no, I wasn't doing that before. And then all the shit they said before goes out the fucking window. And now you're stuck with this person that won't move an inch on wanting a fucking perfect amp, even though they've only allowed you to work on 10% of it, financially wise. So fuck that shit. So you know, you get a spidey sense for these kind of people. I'm not going to say these because nothing to do with this amp or this client, but you get a spidey sense of those sorts of people after a while, and you just give them a fucking astronomical price. And they go, "What's the price?" And you go, "Well, there's a lot of work." The best one was I should say the worst one was a guy with a VTL hi-fi amp, which I think I mentioned in a previous stream. Start declining boogies, yeah. A fucking solid state bass amp, the M2000 is a fucking nightmare, man. The whole amp has to come apart just to change one chip, like literally the whole fucking amp. I'm probably talking 2 days labor to change one chip, and there's no way of determining if that chip has solved the problem until you get it all back together again, and then you find out that it's all got to come apart again because that chip didn't fix it. So you're into an amp for literally 4 days, or you'd have to charge $5,000 to repair it. So no, goodbye. Everyone's like, oh, it's too expensive. Oh, this guy charged ridiculous. It's like, well, tell my fucking landlord that, man, that I don't charge enough. Tell my tax agent that I don't charge enough. They'll fucking laugh in your face. Oh, that one's got a actual eyelet, so let's use that instead of the silly fork at the top. Feel you, man. It's day 2. I had to make a house call because it wasn't acting up here. Fuck that. That's the other thing that's pissing me off. All intermittent problems. Stuff that just won't play up here. And then they're like, oh, you didn't track it down. It's like, how the fuck am I supposed to diagnose it if nothing's wrong? Like, get your crystal ball out, champion. Alright. Solder splashes all over the transformer. Fuck. You. Little solder balls everywhere, man. It's like when I was learning how to weld. Still am. Right, that can go away. In fact, I'm going to redo all of this because it's super messy. Got the choke over there. Alright, so fuse comes straight off the bridge rack. So they put the fuse after the first reservoir cap so the inrush doesn't get it, because that would blow the fuse every time. So the fuse itself is before the output transformer, which is good. And we don't have a MOV, so if we had a MOV, we could put the fuse before the reservoir caps, because that would damp the inrush. And be careful with those wires because they're the low voltage secondary and they do not have terminals on the transformer. They just disappear into the core. We've got a spliced wire. Let's have a look at the splice. Come on, splice, show yourself. So that's just a tack soldered splice. Let's just, for the sake of saving 2 inches of wire that are already connected, let's just redo that one. It's the heater center tap. Be nice if the solder melted anytime soon, please. Hello, thank you. Wire wrapped around the terminal 6 times. That's from Marshall. Alright, we can route that a bit more directly. It's silly to have it go all the way over there. Massive wire for nothing. Right, where do you go and why are you so long? Holy fuck. All the way up this end? Is it too late to decline this job? Alright, so what node are you? Scotty! How you going, legend? Yeah, not really over the cold yet, but slowly getting there, Scotty. Still a bit blocked up and no fever anymore though, so that's good. I was working on your cabinet yesterday, I was just telling everyone. Where are you? Where are you? Are you the PI? No, you're not the PI. You're not the preamp node. Solder splashes. Alright, so you're the PI. You've got local filtering. So you must be the screen node. Where's this? Oh, yeah. You are the screen node. Okay, so why the fuck you go over there? So you're the screen node. Where's your dropper? Your dropper is there. And then your wire is there. Okay, yeah. So where's your connection? Your connection must be there. Okay, so why do we have a wire that's fucking really long? Why have we got a cap in place of a resistor? Get rid of you. You don't have to go all the way around planet Earth, so you can go away as well. I'll just cut you off. I'd like to mount you closer to the rear panel. Let's just get rid of you for now. You can all stay. Get you out of the way for now. That wire's gross. Don't need to be wrapped around the terminal 10 times, so I'll just cut you off there. You can go away. Actually, I'll get rid of all the connections to the caps because there's big dags of solder and stuff on them as well, so I'd like to clean up all of that. Let's get rid of the choke for now. Just have a look at the solder connection. Not terrible. Yeah. Redo that. Try not to touch the soldering iron again. So again, we'll put the The actual supply to the tip of the fuse, not the output. For reasons stated previous. Getting an influx of hatred on YouTube comments at the moment. It happens whenever you have a bit of a surge in viewership. I must have mentioned on some video that someone used the wrong cleaner and there was goo everywhere, but I must have said it like twice, because he's like, yeah, I heard it the 64th time you said it. I understood the 64th time you said it. I'm like, aren't you a clever boy? You clever boy. I need some tip treatment, I think. Get the... Oh, the BOFA's all the way over there. That's not convenient. Fuck that. I'm not moving that shit. FGR equals CIA. No, Joe, so when he banned you before, that was in error. You clicked the wrong button. It's easy to do if your browser's a bit slow. You hover over something, you go to click it, and by the time you've clicked it, something else has moved under your cursor. It's really annoying. It's still summer here. I don't know what's going on. Normally it's cooler by now. Went for a walk around the river this morning. I was sweating, bro. Sweating. And it wasn't the fever this time. I always get sick in autumn. Most people get like hay fever in spring, but I tend to get sick in autumn. Body's just like, no, winter, no. Anyone having experience with a train? Or I don't. I'm hanging to finally get one, but there must be just none out here, I reckon. My man Alain in Alain, I don't know how you say it in French accent, in Canada, just had like a big surge of trainers. He just like, well, he's in Canada and they're a Canadian amp, so he's going to get more than Australians, but he had a big surge of like a whole bunch of them in a month, like 5 in a month or something crazy. Normally might get a couple a year, but yeah, he just had a whole bunch of them, so he's probably the man to talk to. I've got to have him on, have an interview, have a chat. We'll probably descend into whiskey reviewing more than anything else, but descend? Ascend. Mold allergies hit in autumn, winter. Really? Well, this is actually caught something rather than just an allergy. Because I had the full-on green snot and everything, you know. Actual infection kind of deal. See you, Frankie. Have a good one. What? More little solder balls down in the transformer core. Awesome. It's these little solder splashes. You only touch them and they dislodge, and then they can go and short stuff out if they're on the larger side. If they're on the smaller side, they can get stuck in valve sockets and all sorts of stuff. So you want to get rid of them if you can. It's some melting on the cap down there, like the soldering iron was pushed all the way down against the cap body. The OR15, yeah, it's not bad. All the orange stuff's alright. The biggest issue with the orange stuff, Mark, is just the heater connections from valve to valve, floating above the board. Sometimes they use connectors, sometimes they hard solder them. If they've soldered them, it's okay. If they've used those little connectors, they're not capable of carrying the current, and they're just flimsy too, physically. That's probably the biggest issue with the orange amps in general, and it's pretty easily resolvable. Orange are good, man. Everyone's always going, oh, you shit talk everything. It's like, well, you're not listening. All you want to hear is shit talking. You haven't heard the fucking every week the amps that I regularly recommend. When people just want to hear negative, that's all they hear. Doesn't matter how positive you are and any other times. Oh, this crusty, weird solder that just won't melt. I am on a chassis eyelet, but it's just, yeah, just refuses to melt. You just shit talk PV. What is the issue with the JCM900? Well, it's not a JCM900 anymore. It's a bit of a Frankenstein, and the main issue is bad soldering. You rewind to the start of the stream. I explain it there. I'm just going to say that from now on. Rewind. I pinched a few strands there when I stripped that wire, so I need to go up to the next. I'd love to have a thermal wire stripper, but we don't have the kind of budget for that. That's crazy. That's Oprah money, that shit. It's a vacuum. Reflow it. Reflow what? The solder? I tried that earlier, Alex. Doesn't work. Of course I would have fucking reflowed it. Who are you talking to? Actually, I want heat shrink on that. Do we? Nah, it's HT. We'll just go heat shrink on the mains. He's stuck in and won't grab the BOFA. It's over there. It's on Michelle's assembly bench. I think we can do better than that. So, Shady Pines Tavern apparently is closing down in the city. That really sucks. The place is awesome. Why is everything just getting shitter? Why can't things get better? Don't answer that. Yeah, Shady Pines Tavern was this sort of Western influence bar in Sydney. It's down an alleyway, and it's just the front window is just covered up with newspaper, and you don't even know it's there except for the fact that there's a bouncer out the front. And you walk in, and it's like stepping into a fucking saloon. No natural light. You got full on like honky tonk bands play down there and shit. Country as Americana style stuff, you know. They had all whiskeys and cool stuff down there. I remember once we were on a pub crawl in the city. We're like, we've got to find Shady Pines. We found it. It was the first time I went there. And there was this group of ladies that were like, I don't know, probably late 50s. And they were due to fly back to Florida, I think. Was it Florida? Maybe California. How the fuck am I getting those two mixed up? I can't remember. But the point being that their plane had been cancelled because there was a hurricane. So they went to Shady Pines because they had another 24 hours to kill now, and they just fucking got stuck in. Stuck right in. Oh man, it's really squeezy in this area. Yeah, so we ended up drinking with them and sharing stories, and they were a bloody riot, those women. I think it was 3 of them. And they were running the bar by the end of that night. Everyone was shouting them drinks. They had the time of their life. Probably still telling the story about the Shady Pines. I think that was that the same time? No, that was another time where we're at the Rocks, which is sort of like the first. Well, look, it's a historic part of Sydney, and it was where all like the dock workers and shit used to go to drink after a day's work, and it was very much bohemian. Still well, no, it's gentrified now, but it was very bohemian, sort of lower class drinking area, party time, you know, fucking opium den. Yeah. Pretty badass place. It wasn't the red light district, but it was like the people's area, I guess you could say. None of the gentry were hanging out there. So we started there at a place called the Fortune of War, which is a pub there right on the docks. Well, what used to be the docks. And the guitarist took a break, and back then my repertoire was real good. And I said, everyone's like, bro, grab the guitar, play a song. I go, I'm not just going to do that. That's rude. But then the old mate overheard and he goes, oh, I'm going out for a break and have some dinner. I'll be like half an hour. If you want to get up, play a few songs. He goes, you're not a complete dickhead, are you? You're not like, you can actually play. I'm like, yeah. So he stood there and like had a beer and watched me play like one song, and then he was satisfied that I was respecting his guitar and his equipment and that I could actually play and sing. So he went off and had his dinner and his smoke or whatever. And I played like 4 or 5 songs that night. And when the actual guitarist came back, everyone was going, "Oh, boo!" Everyone wanted me to stay up there. That's about as close to I think I got shouted a few beers. It's about as close to a paid gig as I've ever been. Good times. Yeah, the drop of the hat back then, I could play like probably 20, 30 songs to completion. Whereas now I'm probably like 4 or 5. It's not like riding a bike, champions. You don't use it, you lose it. There is like an elephant's foot of solder under this terminal. Just trying to get in there without melting the jacket of the capacitor any more than it already is. Vanilla Fudge, I don't know what that is. What songs did you play? Oh man, that was like that would have been like 2008 or something. So I think there's some Chili Peppers in there. There was Screaming Jets, there's the Angels, probably some Hunters and Collectors. Alice in Chains. Might have been some like Green Day or something too. You know, all radio shit, because I knew what audience I was playing to. I was playing to a pub of drunk people, so you play anything too obscure and they boo you. I would have been some Foo Fighters, Back Off Colour and the Shape. The last Foo Fighters album, as far as I'm concerned. Might have been some Queens of the Stone Age. All that kind of stuff is what I was obsessed with at the time, so... No Stairway. No, I didn't play. I was under no illusions that I could sing like Robert Plant at any stage in my life. Melt, you bastard. Oh, stomach trembling. I need some food. It's only 11 o'clock. Get out, get out! Solder, get out of the eyelet! We're in Flux Braid City. Flux Braid City limits. Had a gig last Friday night that was killer. A little local dive bar here called Heroes. Got out of there around 1 AM and went back to work at 7 AM. Fuck. Problem is when you barely gig, it's like a party. So then you want to party on afterwards. So then firstly, the first thing that happens is you end up spending anything that you earned on booze. And then you end up regretting it the next day. Dustin, how you going, legend? We're just doing a bit of stuff to a thing. Yeah, generally, unless the artist is really bad, if you heckle anyone in Australia, everyone's going to turn around at you and fucking destroy you. Especially if it's a younger kid playing. You'll get dragged out. I love stuffing things. Yeah, stuffing things are alright, eh? Sometimes. You can take it or leave it. Alright, everything's really squeezy down here. I'd like to change that wire, which I will. Let's put some Teflon wire in there for the grid stuff. Oop, that's a green wire. I want the pink one. Where's the pink one? Pink one's over there. I'm looking at the phase inverter output. Might run that wire over the board. It's all nice, good and nice to try and hide stuff, but if it gets to the point where wires are literally trying to delete each other, it's probably not a good thing. The blow on the hookers at the end of the night. Mate, if you're a real rock star, you don't need hookers. You ain't paying for it. If you're a real rock star, they pay you. Just look at Gene Simmons. What is it? $10,000 for the honor of being his roadie. That's a Kiss fan for you. Right, so where the fuck does that wire go? Why is it going onto the board? So that's that there, and that's that there. They're both connected. Why do we have to do that? Screen node. That's connected on the board. Where's that trace go? So the trace literally goes there. Oh yeah, I can see the trace. Why don't we just mount them on the board? Well, he's used one of the filter cap. He's used one of the screen grid resistor positions for a filter cap for a auxiliary supply, that's why. Do we know if anyone took Gene Simmons up on that generous offer? I think it got ridiculed so much that he removed it from the world. Okay, that wire can be way shorter. Sorry, champions, a bit sniffly still. Let's get rid of those melted wire ends. Okay, what just happened there? What is that? Oh, it's a blob of solder. It's weird. Like the solder just hasn't stuck to the terminals. It's like black on one side. So here's a solder blob. It's black. Like it's taken the tarnishing with it. Weird. I thought I'd snapped off a terminal there, but not the case. These are actually pretty decent terminals on the 900 series. Just tin that. Is it taken tinning? Yes, it is. So yeah, it's just weird solder everywhere. Bit of a liability working on this thing at all. Framing. If you're a real rock star, you get all the food and beer you want. They pay you, and you struggle to stay awake so that no one knows how difficult it is to be old. Socializing and loading gear. Why did Rush get booed? I think what I'm going to do is rethink how these screens are done, because I don't like any of this. It's tricky because it's all half under the board. That wire can stay. That one can stay too. Actually, let's redo it. Get to the point where there's nothing original, champions. This makes more sense to have one bank of wiring to all the valve sockets and then just one wire linking that to the board. And then coming from the cap, we could go directly to the screens. From those screens, we could go directly to the board, and then that gives the feed to the rest of the board, the phase inverter node and beyond. Instead of having like just all these parallel wires going on and messiness. Never throw a good beer. Yeah, well, it's in America, so nothing to worry about there. Unless it's the West Coast. G'day, Michael. It's my truck driver customer that beeps every time he goes past. Might even be watching the live stream, I don't know. Or listening to it. I'd like to think he's not watching live streams while he's driving a fucking truck and dog. That is alcohol abuse to throw a beer. Exactly. Exactly. Let's get some 1K Vichy. Where are you at? One, two, three, four. Let's get some Teflon wire. So the original the JCM 900 had a weird screen grid arrangement where I think two of the valves didn't have screen grid resistors or something. I forget, but point being, we'll just be making it normal. All right, 1, 2, 3. Murphy got pelted by tomatoes. I never understood that having a comedian open for a musician thing. There was a thing in the 90s here, there was a guy called Neil Hamburger, and he used to open all the Friends of Rom shows. But his job was to be cringe as fuck and get heckled. Like he was like a what's his name, Nardwar or whatever type character, where he was like you're supposed to throw shit at him. That was like his shtick. But it was pretty annoying, eh? You just want to see the band and you got to deal with 15 minutes of this dickhead trying to be a dickhead. Got anything to eat here? We've got an apple. Have another banana, I guess. Got Bushmills. That's for after work, not during. That's for doing the book work. So you shouldn't drink when you're working because you might fuck something up. But you kind of need to drink during book work, otherwise you'll KYS. Probably the nicotine that slowed your healing. What is everyone here injured or what? Fucking. Comedians are rad as open as our band used to book an improv comedy act that would certainly mess with the crowd. Those shows are always really great. Okay, well, I guess it could open them up. Bushmills is a food group. It's pretty average, to be honest. Not a big fan. Not a big fan of generic whiskies in general. Don't know, it just tastes like anything else. It's not bad, it's just boring. It's like, bad whiskey's not like, ew, yuck. It's just, there's nothing going on. Like, I've never had a whiskey where I've been like, that is fucking disgusting. I've had rums that have been like that. Bundaberg rum's a big one. You go through the hole. You go around the back of the terminal. You go up through the board. Alright, I think we've got a deal. Happy days. Next. No, it's not. No, it is not, Lyle. But welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Hope you're keeping sane. What are you working on there, Lyle? I'm getting this one out of the way, and then another very poorly well, not another. I'm getting this one out of the way afterwards. Let me just show you. Widescreen. This one's up next. The closer you look, the scarier it gets. So yeah, it's another case of, yeah, everything's all right. It just doesn't work. It was built fine. It just doesn't work. So I'm getting those jobs out of the way this week so I can get onto some other stuff while parts are turning up for. I've got trying to chase parts for a Roland JV35. It's got a failed slider volume pot. Looks almost like the track's completely gone on one side. It only works when the volume's maxed out. Oh, you got back from Tonkatsu and Kieran. Nice. Damn it, I'm just looking for something to eat and you're talking about that. Yeah. Have you tried the sheepdog peanut butter? Yeah, I've heard of it. And if I'm ever gonna decide that there is a whiskey that's just gross, that's probably gonna be it. I wonder what so there's a local, well, not local, it's in the city, restaurant called something Viking-y. I forget the name. But anyway, it's basically Viking themed restaurant where you drink out of a fucking horn and you got these massive knives and stuff. And you can order mead and whatever. And they premiered a beer there which was made from a strain of yeast that was reproduced from a bottle of beer they found from like 1600s or something. Or prior. And they cultivated the yeast because the yeast is like lives for a ridiculously long time. It's one of those weird things. It's like a spore of a fungus or whatever. It lives through like fucking lava flows. Not quite, but yeah. Oh, tonkotsu. Oh, so that's very different. You get those two mixed up too. So do I. I forget which one's the fried chicken and which one's the beef, the pork broth, bone broth soup essentially for ramen. So tonkotsu is the bone broth. Tonkatsu is the fried stuff. I think. Yeah, I'm second guessing myself. Tonkotsu. Viking food. Yeah, so they also, I think there's a company called Grimfrost. Viking restaurant. Sydney. What's it called? Mjolnir. Alright, so here we go. Desk share. Mjolnir. They got a cool website. I got to give them that. About Mjolnir. It's a place where sophistication and opulence meets revelry and decadence. So you can get like spatchcock and stuff, and you can get crazy cocktails and huge chunks of meat. And they sell merch. You can buy a drinking horn there. It's pretty cool. Menu? Food menu. Feasting menus. Oh, I gotta have a look at that. Oh, don't tell me it's a PDF. They always do that. Gravlax. Nice. Well, yeah, I mean, they're fish eaters, aren't they? Oh, no photos. Odin. 145 per person. That's like 23 American dollars. Why am I looking up food when I'm hungry? Yeah, not very Viking, eh? It'd be like salted pork and fucking and bilge water. Don't tell me you didn't fucking cut the wires long enough. Just spike my hand with the pliers like a silly lad. Alright. You can get a Thor stomach, yeah. I haven't been eating much the last few days because I've been sick. And I've been trying to keep that up, just to eat less in general. Not going the full, like, cult fasting diet or any shit like that, but sometimes I can probably be guilty of eating in order to procrastinate something, like snacking, you know? I'm probably just cracked over the 95 kilo mark too, so I've got to keep a check on that shit. I'm fucking 41 now. Felt very unhealthy the last few days, but it went for a walk this morning. And that helped a lot, the mental and physical well-being feeling after being sick for a while. See Lyle, he just pops in, pops out. Just attach that in the wrong fucking pin because I'm thinking about food. This is a horrible amp to work on. The board's like hugging the socket, so you can't reach anything. Everything's trying to disappear under the board. Try that again. Pin 6, Brad. Pin 5's the bloody grid. I wonder if Lyle was saving that joke his whole life and it finally gave him such an abstract opportunity to use it that he's just like, nah, I've got to go now. I've reached peak dad joke. That's why he's left. It's like, no, I can't improve on that. Sorry, I'm done. Shuts his YouTube channel. One more, see if we can fit another one through the eyelet. Try to go to the bottom. Yes, we can. Can we build it? It's the other beauty of this Teflon wiring. It's not like fucking 12 gauge, so you can actually get a few wires through an eyelet. Silver plated too, so it takes solder beautifully. Beauty. One more connection. Two more connections, sorry. And then we'll pop the resistors on. It's a bit neater and tidier. All right. Cut off the excess. Put a finger over the offcut so it doesn't fly into some other parallel universe. If you can't do that, grab the tweezers or the pliers and just hold the offcut where you cut it. Have to get busy on a 1x12 Marshall JCM 2000 combo amp, bad solder joints and some bad transistors for channel switching, muting and ducking. Needs a recap too. So, if that's a JCM 2000 combo, it's either one of the 1x12. So that'd be a DSL 401. Runs on EL84s. You probably have some heat damage to the board, Seth, but that board is actually a cream colored fiberglass that's for some reason on that model different to the fiberglass that they used on the 100 watt heads and the 50 watt heads. and the 100-watt combo 2x12. So you don't have the conductive PCB issue on that model. It's crazy how burnt those boards can get. Like, they can be literally like dark brown, almost black around the tube sockets. And they still don't conduct. A little bit like some of the Mesa Boogies with the EL84s. They just get so burned, but they just refuse to conduct, which is great. So point being, you should be able to recover that relatively easily. They are a little bit of a pain in the ass to take apart and put together. I haven't seen one of them for ages. You know what? I had a bunch of them when I started out, and then they just stopped. I just never saw another one. There can't be that many of them out here, I guess. The same old Brad justification for not seeing something. Well, if I'm not seeing it, there mustn't be it. They mustn't exist. It's kind of legit, isn't it? Alright. Much more compact. Little screen grid resistors there. Fucking almost touching that pad on the PCB though. Let's stand that up a little bit. So I finished that deluxe reverb. You know, the gutted tone master. Well, not even gutted, just replaced the whole chassis. And that's been my little amp I've been using at home. And I got a OD9 from Maxon going into the front end of it, and I'm having a hell of a lot of fun with that little rig at home. Sounds great. Never liked the tube screamer type pedals until recently, when I stopped trying to use them like a Marshall. They're not for chugs, bro. Once I got over the fact that they're not for chugs, I sort of understood them a bit more, and I've been enjoying it. It's good. Anything to get yourself excited about playing at home. So it makes me want to sit and play. Satisfying, and it's fun. And that's half the battle. Yes, sir. 4 EL84s and no apparent heat damage. Oh, cool. Mustn't be very used then. Normally they come in absolutely cooked. I think Six had one of them a few weeks ago before he went over to Japan. He should be back. Well, he is back. Go over, do me a favor and go over to Six's channel and give him a how you going, champ? Because post-holiday blues, depression is a real thing. I felt it pretty hard when I came back from Japan. Just lost all drive and motivation for like a good week, maybe fortnight. Just felt like everything was a bit pointless. I get over it and then you get excited again. Had the same tube screamer evolution. Now I get some nice SRV. Yeah, that's what I was going for. I think it's also some amps don't really work real well with them. Like if you put them in the front end of a Marshall, things can be pretty brittle. But if you got a nice fat scoopy fender, like a 60s, 70s Fender circuit, they can work really well. Because they are a bit honky, but then if you got a kind of scooped response in your amp, they work together well. Don't know. Younger Brad is kind of dismissive of a lot of things. I'm trying not to be like that as much. I'm trying to actually try things out instead of just assuming everything's shit. You ordered a Hakko 888DX solder station. They called today to verify my order. Who'd you buy it from? They might be having issues with fraud or something at the moment. Excuse me. Hello, Brad. Cool to catch a live stream. Looks like a Marshall of some kind on the bench, but a new PCB. Yep, you're correct there. Not a normal bright green PCB I'm used to seeing. Just rewind to the start of the stream for the story. Not going to bore everyone by repeating it. Excuse me. Alright, you kind of want to go there. Can you go onto the board? And just pop up right where I need you. I reckon you can. Yeah. Yeah, mate. Yeah. You know. American Hakko products. So that sounds like an official distributor. Let me just get a tissue. My nose is still blocked up. Hang on. All right. You had to bring a towel. Now. You only get wet if you're in the front row. Top coat copper. Oh man, my stomach is rumbling. Would it be wrong to go to the pub for lunch on a Tuesday when I've got a backlog like 3 months long? Oop. Sorry, Chammy, it's tongue out time. Can't talk for a sec. The old single tasked male brain over here. Juan, pub lunch fun. Thanks, mate. It's tempting, but I think I'll spend that on a sandwich at the local shop instead because I've got too much work. I've got to restore some shit and get it for sale too. That fucking Marshall. People keep putting shit on me about not releasing that super bass video. It's like, it's not that I haven't edited the video, Jimmy. It's that I haven't done the fucking job. Yeah, they are a distributor. Well, just bring them up and just say, yeah, it's verified. What's the issue? Have you, like, actually talked to them yet, Victor? Like I say, they might have just had an influx of fraudulent activity on their website or something. They just want to double check that you're not a robot. So when they call, go, yes, this is Victor. Where is my soldering station, you asshole? Well, no, if you do that, they'll just think you're a throat cancer victim, not a fucking robot. Shouldn't joke about that. Ah, whatever. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Yay for random live stream on a Tuesday. Yes, yay indeed. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? I'm singing like Dave Jones. Hi, I'm Dave Jones, and this is how I would sing. Did you see Electro Boom's in town? Dave was hanging out with him. All the YouTube titans. Not a little plebby 10,000 sub channel like over here. Good old Electro Boom. How many people still think his videos are legit? No, he's like an electrical engineer. He knows what he's doing. Magic of the internet. Turns everyone into idiots. Electronic site are popular for credit card fraud. Yeah, get stolen credit card and they buy expensive electronic repair equipment for resale or to fund their little, you know, iPhone repair shop or whatever. Is that the Hakko FM-203? Oh, is that the desolderer in the single handle? Because my mate Lane showed me a video of one of them recently, and he was doing straight up chassis soldering with it. I didn't know it was that high power. But Hakko makes some amazing stuff. Shouldn't have put it past them. Do not underestimate Hakko. They do world-class equipment. Alright, let's run some new wire for the other two grids. That one I'll run up in the mid-air because under the board is too crowded. You've got 6 plate connection right next to the heater. Lead dress could be better. Electro boom. Everyone thought it was real. Like, no, it's comedy. No, it's not real. Yeah. It's like when you got that workmate. Like, this is part of the reason I really enjoy not having to go to a work site or an office every day. Because back in the day, there'd always be this dickhead workmate who just always had to be right. Just like an underachiever over receiver. And they'd see something like Electro Boom, and you'd know for a fact, like, you could have fucking been mates with the bloke, Electro Boom, whatever his name is, Medi? And you'd be like, no, it's real. Yeah, he got shot. Yeah, he died. Yeah. There'd be that guy that's like, yeah, no, it's real. Yeah, I know, yeah. No, that was on the news. I'm like, dude, you're making it up. No, it's real. Every workplace has one of those guys, and you know exactly who I'm talking about. That kind of dude. Particularly prevalent in the trades. So I don't know, how many of you guys, most of you guys are from the States, so you're probably not aware of the yeah nahs that we throw out all the time in Australia. Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah, yeah, nah. So if you say yeah, nah, that means no. And if you say nah, yeah, eh, that means yes. They actually are happy I'm gone, Mark, because if I didn't just leave, I would have sued them. They'll be happy I just left. Yeah, so if you go, hey mate, you want to go for a beer, Savo? Yeah, nah, eh. Too busy. Yeah, nah, eh. Hey mate, you want to go for a beer, Savi? No, yeah, eh. Sounds alright. The intricacies of speaking Australian. Lots of yeah, no. Oh, you got it in Canada too. We're so similar, man. Canadians and Australians. Commonwealth brothers, mate. We understand each other. We speak the same wavelength. I know in Canada, similar to here, fuck's sake is a big one, but it's fuck's sakes in over there, whereas over here it's fuck's sake, just like one, not plural. This is some nice little Kurt Vile in the background. Oh, fuck, I just remember one of my mates released an album and I didn't even listen to it. Actually, did he end up releasing it? Oh, I have to ring him after this because I feel real bad if he was hyping it up to me and then I've just completely forgotten about it. Right, got that grid connection. Grid connection. If it's one sake, or too many sakes, fuck's sakes. You're a busy man, Rad. Yes. Working any bloody messes lately? Yeah, one over there that I've got to try and find the chips that it uses for fucking channel switching in this just crazy, crazy way of switching channels. And B, it's going to take like a full day to tear down to the point where I can replace the thing and put it back together. Yeah, should have said no. Should have said no. You don't know how, like, tedious jobs are going to be until you actually dig into them, and then no one wants to hear no. They all want it fixed. So you try and charge enough to make ends meet, not do your ass on it, but often the two are mutually exclusive in the case of Messer. Alright, so those screen grids look nice and tidy now. And the new grid stoppers, well, same old grid stoppers, but just mounted a bit more friendly. We've got our connection going to the screen. We can connect our choke up to that from the B+ node. I think we need to wire that long. We could probably wire it a bit more gracefully in the front end there. Let me think about my ground scheme, what I want to do. In the meantime, I'll clean up those switch contacts because that's got to happen. Just get the fan happening. It's getting a bit steamy. We do have another Messer to do maybe today though. I'm going to do this one and that Marshall DIY thing. It's just going to be another open-ended thing. And then that I've got to do the video on that Messer. I have to do that after hours. I can't be doing footage of stuff while customers are coming and going. But having said that, no one's even walked in the door today, so it is just almost midday. Is there only 2 people watching? That can't be right. No, it's 49. Phone app. Good on your phone app. 55. For some reason, the YouTube app was saying I had 2 viewers. Oh, flashbacks. If you add a lot of new solder, it eventually amalgamates sort of, kind of, with the old stuff. But you need to like add like more than what's already there to get it to even flow. Even flow. Maybe that was a soldering song. Why doesn't it even flow? This fucking solder is turned to chalk. So he wicks it all away. I'm losing my mind, Jimmy. grilled sausages. Enjoy, Rob. Let's flip those switches over to get to the other side of the terminals. It's not my channel, Brad. I had over 2 viewers. Hey, I watched your latest video. Solder won't stick to the terminals at all. Probably should have commented. Engagement, you know? It's the name of the game these days. I love it when people leave hate-filled comments because that's engagement. You're feeding the algorithm, bro. If you really wanted me to fail, you wouldn't have typed anything at all. You wouldn't have clicked on the video. Alright, we've got most of the crusties off. Should be able to go in with the wick to get the rest of the stuff off. I don't want any of this stuff mixing with the solder, especially in the primary area, because it did not look good. My brother and I went to McDonald's and we were attacked by some lunatic. His pants were down around his knees, swinging a stick around, chanting "Attack all cars." I mean, yeah. Cars do suck. It sounds like he's got a bit going on. Maybe needs some mental assistance, but I don't know if that's an option in your region or not. For some reason, even though pretty much all of the issues in society can be boiled down to some kind of mental illness, but people just still don't see it as important. Maybe you wouldn't feel the need to consume and hoard capital to the point where everyone else suffers if you were a happy person. Just saying. Alright, they're clearing up now. Terminals are looking like terminals again. Winning! Called 911 on the dispatcher and the dispatcher asked me, I think. They asked you what race he is? Fucking hell. Your country's fucked. Aren't we all? Well, they could have just used a new switch instead of doing all this, eh? Man, like, just a trace hint of this solder is enough to fuck up the new solder. This is weird. Like, if the solder wasn't sticking to the terminal, I'd think there was some kind of contamination. Cars only work if they suck. Gravity sucks, man. Yes, it does. Yeah, like, I had to do like 4 cleaning cycles on the terminals before they come good because of whatever the fuck that solder was. Nothing's no such thing as an easy dollar, champions. Got a drop. Thanks for the surprise live feed. Thanks for the $10 fund, and thanks for joining us. Have a good day, champion. Rip the lid off it for me. That's how we say have a good day over here, or have a good night. Rip the lid off it. Alright, we can run the bias feed straight from the bridge rack. Makes things a bit tidier around the transformer. Now, how do I want to do the fusing? For some reason, we've only got one HT fuse. Previously, the one... Well, okay, no, I know why. Because previously, the one had cathode fuses in the JCM 900 series. So he's changed that to an HT fuse. I think they called it an HT fuse. Output valve fuse. So yeah, it's been converted to a single HT fuse. But it's still 500 mil. Feel like that should be an amp. For a 100 watt head. I'm going to put some lock washers on these switches, because they were just spinning before. See what ones I got. I think I've got some stainless ones that should fit the bill. External star. Actually, I might have some internal star ones that'll fit a bit better. I was going to get in a PM Boltmaster over the weekend too, wasn't I? Didn't get a chance. They're fucking huge, mate. How come all lock washers seem to be in Imperial? It's a bit like buying router bits. It's all in inches, like 3/4 inch round over, 1/2 inch, 3/8. Just get my grippy pliers. Let's have a polished face on them, so you can use them for these kind of purposes without scratching the front panel. Still got to be careful. Ah, da. That's better. Nice and tight. More gooey solder on that one. $12.08. I think I'm gonna dip as well. I'm gonna go get some food, legends. So yeah, that's what we've taken out so far. So I'll carry on with this when I get back. Then move on to the next one. This is probably going to be a good few hours. I think this is going to smash most of the day, and then the other one will fill out the day. So I'll probably only get 2 amps done today because I spent all morning doing emails and paperwork shit. Sessions with Jeff. We were just about to head off, mate. You're Go back and watch the stream, mate. That's alright. It's good relaxing stuff. But yeah, I was just about to head off and get some lunch, champion. You just got here late. Alright, I'll going to do some videos through the week. I won't have a chance to edit them probably till the weekend. So first I'll probably see you next is if I do get a quick video out. Could be tomorrow or the day after. Otherwise, probably see you Saturday, I reckon. Feels weird to say that on a Tuesday, but it'll be here before you know it. Anyway, one thing I will do is I'll do another little vlog update, little video diary update for the members, just on what's going on. And throw around a few ideas for upcoming videos. Pardon me, or video series. Anyway, take it easy, legends. I'll catch you around.